YTOP Global, in partnership with caring community creators, has organized a seminar aimed at promoting identity, confidence, and personal growth among university students. The event took place on Saturday, June 21 at the Obafemi Awolowo University OAU campus, Ile-Ife, attracting hundreds of undergraduate students. The seminar, with the theme "Am I Enough?" focused on mental health, self-worth, and internal struggles many students silently faced. Speaking with Hamiloded, founder of YTOP Global and host of the event, Oluwadamilare Ekundayo, described the seminar as an eye-opening experience for many participants. He noted that mental health is often overlooked in academic institutions, yet it significantly impacts students' performance and overall well-being. Ekundayo said students often feel inadequate due to societal pressure, course selection, and unrealistic standards set by the world around them. He stated that the positive feedback received showed the importance of making such conversation consistent and campus-wide. Ekundayo added that the program, in partnership with the caring community creators, would be extended to other institutions across Nigeria in the near future. He called on school authorities to prioritize student mental health by encouraging uplifting conversation and motivational support within classrooms.
Today's program is really eye-opening because mental health is an area that we don't pay attention to, and that is why we picked the theme "Am I Enough?" Because many students have this low self-esteem about themselves, what people have told them that they are not enough, maybe because of the course they are studying, their academic performance, or the standard that the world has given to measure performance of how students should be. However, there is this feeling of worse that bring down students, that bring their morale, their well-being, and that really affect their performance. So they ask themselves, am I enough? I'm not good enough for some things, I'm not fine, and life is this and that. We've seen many students commit suicide because of what they've heard, the result they got, but they don't have people they can talk to. So we deem it fit having interacted with several students that what best can express this situation, and that's why we come up with the team Am I Enough? And this program is in partnership with Caring Community Creators, an organization that also work on mental health, to see how best we can help students get their well-being, perform better, and fulfill that what they are sent to do. So so far so good. It's been really worth the time, and I'm glad that this came up even from the resources that we've been able to resource person we heard from, and how the comment they've given is encouraging that this program should not only stop here. It should be something continuous to keep reminding students, reminding youth, reminding even lecturers that there is something called mental health and mental wellness, and I enjoy the time. It is called YTOP Global, and everywhere the global is, we can reach. And like I said, it's in collaboration with Caring Community Creators. Caring Community Creators is an organization that is based in Lagos, so we'll keep moving from one place to another. So in support, in collaboration, we'll keep moving around to ensure that we solve as many or help so many people that we can. So that's it. So it's not stopping here. I tell them to please pay attention to their student well-being. Talk about their mental health. Encourage them. Give them words that can lift their soul and spirit. Tell them they can be better. Even if they don't do well, that doesn't mean they will not do well in the future. You can always give them encouragement that can stir up greatness in them. And like I said, my lecturer told me he believes in me. And that word alone shaping me. My auntie called me the genius. Those words held me on, and I'm a result and the product of such words. So words are powerful, and however way we use it, we should be careful of our tone, our expression to it. So I will tell the management of the institution to please use kind words on students, encourage them, motivate them, be their father, be their mother, be their own person that they can always meet in time they have challenges. I'll tell the students that have attended that they should also carry on the message. It's not for them alone. They are just a representative of others. In any capacity they are serving as a student leader, or they are rep, or just students in class. They can always replicate, pay attention to others, encourage themselves, check on themselves, send them some sweet messages. It doesn't make them less, because it will go a long way in shaping our community as a whole.
Also speaking, the mother of the day, Prof. Bukola Oyebanji, praised the seminar, describing it as timely for addressing identity and mental health issue among students. She stressed that students must go beyond listening and apply the lesson to their lives for lasting transformation. Professor Oyebanji expressed her desire to see the seminar replicated across the entire university, benefiting both students and staff.
This is really very important because we've been having some issues, especially among students of a particular age group. And knowing your identity is important. They talk about mental health and something else I learned today, mental wellness is really, really important. Being happy without actually finding anything to be happy about, and the ability to control your mind. And I believe this is not only for students. I'm looking forward to a time when it will be the seminar can be for the whole university, because issue of mental well-being is essential. Oh yes, they should make use of what they have learned today, not just hear it, but make use of it. And like I said, I'm hoping that very soon we are going to have it not only for students but for the whole university.
In his remark, Vice Dean of Faculty of Agriculture at OAU, Professor Olalekan Soyelu described the program as enlightening and essential. He highlighted that identity, confidence, and growth and mental health are critical pillars for success both in school and beyond. Professor Soyelu urged students to see themselves as uniquely created individuals with purpose regardless of academic or societal limitations. He encouraged them to approach life with a broad mindset, free from self-doubt or unnecessary restrictions. According to him, embracing self-belief and acknowledging one's unique value can unlock the confidence needed to thrive in any field.
It's a very good, eye-opening program. Talking to our students and enlightening them on the subject of identity, confidence, growth, mental health, these are very good components that make them a complete person, not only as students, but in every other spheres of life. Yes, I just want to advise the students that they should approach life with a broad mind. They shouldn't be limited in any way. They should be confident in them. They have to acknowledge that they are somebody fashioned for a special purpose by God and fashioned to make a success in life. And then there is a purpose for everyone. They have to believe that, and they need to pursue the purpose, and they have to do that to a conclusive end. So first of all, they need to believe in themselves, and then they pursue it with the whole of their being, and definitely at the end of the day they are going to achieve.
In her own words, Dr. Adenike Adeyemi, a senior lecturer in the Department of Animal Science, OAU, emphasized that students must believe they are enough. She said the goal of seminar was to help students understand themselves, identify their strengths, and build confidence for constant growth.
One of the things that, even from the theme of the program, I am enough, we are here to drive into the students that they are enough. Don't think down on yourself. And once you can have that in your mind, it will be easy for you to express it in every area. That is one thing that we want this program to achieve. Understanding yourself, identifying yourself, building your confidence that you can express yourself and then grow day by day until you achieve your dream. My message to them is they are enough and they are more than enough. Each one of us, every young one, we are enough and we are more than enough.
Delivering his goodwill speech virtually, the co-founder of St. Mark's and lecturer in the Netherlands, Professor Jacob Dunstra, expressed his strong support for YTOP's mental health initiative, describing the theme, Am I Enough, as timely and powerful. He urged young people to remove the question mark and embrace the truth that they are more than enough. Highlighting challenges faced by Generation Alpha, Dunstra pointed to academic pressure, peer expectation, and identity struggle foiled by social media and key sources of anxiety. He criticized the outdated school system that still ties students' worth to grade, stressing that you are not your grade.
So the title of this today event is Am I Enough? With a question mark, but I would definitely erase the question mark because I think we and you are all enough. And as, let's say, freshborn babies, we're already enough. We have it in us. To give you an example, we all have a sense of unconsciously encouraging another human being. That is not what we have thought, but it is already in us. So, but during the ride of life, we might lose that. And that losing is most likely by the formation, the pressure of formation. And formation means that we form ourselves to our surroundings. and the environment that we live in is constantly changing and demanding at the same time. And in your generation, Generation Alpha, the biggest change has happened in the beginning of your life, which you were still a baby, I presume, which was the introduction of the mobile phone and the boost of social media. So research has shown that the biggest pressure in your generation experiences come from the pressure of marks and finance, that's one, and the peer group expectations. And the third one is the identity struggle that we related to social media. So in essence, we try to belong, and we have the anxiety to fall out of the group, and which gives stress, anxiety, and related issues. As a teacher, I can mention that I'm more than aware of the pressure we sometimes put on our students, right? Because I believe that we also have an assignment in the school system. We should change the system, and because you could say that although the circumstances have changed in the environment, the school system is more or less still the same, and that has everything to do with our maybe tendency as teachers to control certain things, and we expect high grades, and we more or less indirect bring that statement across that if you have a high grade, you're good enough. But you're not your grade, right? You are more than that. So the only thing you have to do is to do a test to prove that you're good enough to go to the next step in your career. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in, right? That the school system and also the expectations of the environment is that we need to strive for the next best thing, and that is the best grade you have in you. But to be honest with you, it is a lie. It is the fundamental truth is that you're good enough and you're not your grade.
Professor Dunstra encouraged young people to understand their identity and embrace adaptive leadership. He identified 4 leadership mindsets: controller, planner, pretender, and adapter, and call on youth to lead themselves with resilience and self-awareness. Drawing on research and personal conviction, Dunstra emphasized the importance of self-acceptance, belonging, and faith. He declared urging participants to daily affirm their identity as enough, regardless of societal standards or setbacks.
We have people like controllers and planners that want to control the situation, and planners are most likely people that are looking ahead in time and want to plan the situation. And then we also have the ones that more or less say that they are fine, they pretend that they have control of the situation, but they don't. And let's say the final category of people which are very much in the moment are the ones that are adapting constantly to the situation and also facing the pressure that they're in, and are able to do that. So more or less it is the key issue is to be in the moment and to live in the moment, but at the same time it's very, very difficult sometimes, right? Because it is also about recognizing the sense of spiraling. A lot of pressure is sometimes on us, and we have the tendency to run, to do something, and at the same time we could also put ourselves more at ease and pause a moment and to look into it and to see if what we could do. The other thing I would like to also link to the pressure of social media is that we are being taught unconsciously that we have to do it on our own, right? That we lose the sense of belonging, and that we can ask the question to anyone around us to say, okay, I need some help. Can you give me a hand, or can you give me some assistance in solving this issue? And that is something we tend to forget, because also unconsciously we might have the idea that success is only reached if we do it on our own, but that is not the case, right? So in terms of responding to pressure and spiraling is make a plan, and sometimes stick to it, but also be flexible in terms of adapting to it. And regarding identity, which was referred to by the previous speaker, it's all about cutting the extra away, right? you're good enough. You don't need to do more. You don't need to pretend. It's in you already. So show that as well. And notice that in every blessing there is a spiral. So that's also the funny thing, that we sometimes overlook what's in the blessing or what is in the spiraling. So again, you're good enough, and it's all about transformation. Transformation is a very trending word, to put it like that. But if you talk about formation, we should move to transformation. And transformation is really adapting to the situation and not neglecting that sometimes things are hard, and it is hard to solve something. But what I would like to end off with is more or less a godly proclamation, which I have wrote, to be honest with you, for my 15-year-old daughter, who was in preparation for her chemistry test. And she felt a lot of pressure. She felt a lot of pressure of performing, had some anxiety to it. And so this proclamation I would like to share with you to give you an idea that it's not only on your side, but it's also on this side in terms of the teenagers facing at this moment. So this is my final proclamation, and I would already thank you for your attention. So the proclamation goes like this. I know that I'm more than capable and know what I'm good at. I also know I'm not good at everything, but that's okay, because that's how he made me. I know what I do, and I have done, and know that's enough. I know who I am and who God says I am, namely God's beloved child. Nothing or no one takes this certainty and trust away from me. I stay calm, especially at the moments when I don't know or have doubts. And I know that I can do it because he equipped me properly.
Also speaking virtually on mental well-being, international life coach Dr. Nitin Saswat urged people not to allow their minds to control them, while noting that the best form of creativity is finding solutions to problems. Dr. Saswat noted that everyone is the master of their own mind, emphasizing that mental health is a continuous practice that must be developed until individuals master the art of controlling their thoughts and processing their feelings into positive energy.
When I talk about mental health, let me introduce you to the concept of mental health first. Unfortunately, the education that we have been given, it talks about creating skills, sharpening the skills, learning knowledge, but it never talks about the tool which is required for all these three, how to maintain that, and that is your mind. How good you are at the maintenance of your mind? Ask yourself this very simple question. Like for the body, you do a lot if you do. Remember, there are many of us who do not do exactly what they're supposed to do for their body either. Let's suppose you do a lot for your body. Even if you do a lot for your body, you know who controls that body that you pay a lot of heed to? That is mind. So, if you really want success to be coming your way, if you want the quality of life to increase, the only thing that you need to take care is this particular area of your body, that is mind. So let me ask you a very simple question. What all have you been doing to make sure that your mind is in the right state? That right state of mind is what we are going to talk about. So let's divide the mental health care into two parts. One is taking care of your mental health, and the second is taking care of your mental well-being. Now, when I say these two words, how familiar you are with these both, mental health and mental well-being. If you look at the dictionary meaning, you might get confused because they might sound very similar. Let me make it very easy for you to understand. When I'm talking about mental health, I'm talking about a scenario in which there is no ailment in your mind and body. When you are free from ailments, we can say your mental health is good. But when we talk about mental well-being, it is like talking about how to be healthy as it is different not to be sick and to be healthy, same way, it's quite possible any of you may be having no mental health issue, but might not be very sound with mental well-being. So what we talk about when we talk about the mental well-being? Let's create a chart for the mental health first, then we'll come to the mental well-being part. So when I talk about mental health, what exactly I'm talking about? I'm talking about all the faculties of your brain and the function of your mind to be proper. I'm talking about you are not diagnosed with any of the disorders, mental health disorders that are there in the world. Then we can say, yes, my mental health is fine. But what about the mental well-being? Mental well-being is mental health, like you don't have any ailment, plus A, wellness, happiness. B, your creativity at its peak. And C, that is your ability to process and manage your emotions at the best of its capacity. That is mental well-being. So if you look at the mental well-being, it is a sure-shot way of optimizing your life. And who doesn't want that? So let's talk about mental well-being, and let's talk about your mental well-being. So what is the first component in your mental well-being? That is your wellness, happiness. What is wellness, happiness? One is pleasure happiness. The pleasure happiness is when you have a reason to be happy and you become happy because of that reason. That is wellness happiness. That is pleasure happiness. Like you got a gift, very expensive gift, and just because of like a very expensive gift, you are very happy. That is pleasure happiness. But what is wellness happiness? Wellness happiness is when you can be happy without a reason. And believe me, my African friends have mastered this art. I have seen most of my African friends, they can be very happy without a reason. So are you happy without a reason? Or you need a reason to be happy? If you are happy without a reason, that means you have learned the art of being in wellness happiness. So let's start making first note how good you are with the wellness happiness. Now come to the second part. And the second part is how optimized is your creativity. What do you mean by creativity? Very simple. For every problem, does your mind give you a sight into the solution? Are you a solution seeker? Then your creativity is at its best. The best creativity is finding solutions to the problem. A person who is not optimized creativity will always get stuck, feel stuck in the realm of problem. So if you are with optimized creativity, that means you're always looking for solutions. Whenever life throws a problem at you, you're always looking at the solution of that problem. That means you're with optimized creativity. And third, how good you are with emotions. Emotions play havoc in your body and mind, or you know how to process emotions. Now, this word process is something very interesting. We will get to that. But first, ask yourself a very simple question. How well you have been processing your emotions? Do emotions take control of you and you become overwhelmed with emotions? Or you are able to understand your emotions and work on your emotions? If you are fulfilling these three and free from every ailment of mental health, then we can say you have a very good mental well-being. So let's start working on our mental well-being. Let's build a very, very high mental well-being so that we can enjoy and relish life to the hilt. Thank you.
Also speaking, YTOP Regional Coordinator Oluwadamilola Ayo Ajakaye encouraged students to ask important questions about their self-worth but not dwell in uncertainty. She urged them to take bold steps forward, even when it is difficult, and to continue growing despite life's pressures and setbacks. Ayo Ajakaye also called on school management to host more programs like this, which foster deep student lecturer connection, and promote overall development.
I think one of the important things about today's program is the fact that it's a commonly asked question among youth ourselves. Like, am I enough? At every stage in point, at every point of life, there's always this question that, okay, can I do more? Am I truly that valuable? So I'd say this question kind of like speaks to everybody in all nature of life, not just students, not just the teachers themselves, but every nature of life, because we have different phases in life, and every point we're always asking, am I enough? So I'll say this program is a really good one, and it speaks to us with every niche of life itself. I myself, I experienced this often, and I'd say it's very interesting because this is one of the phases of life I'm in. So it's fine to think that, okay, am I enough? That's a really, really good question for you to ask. What's not fine is you being comfortable staying in that phase of life, right? Continually questioning yourself that, oh, am I enough? Can I do this? Can I do that? Just start. Just take that step, right? It's going to be very, very hard. Actually, it's very, very hard. And I've experienced that myself. But I think one of the things someone told me was that rather than questioning yourself of what if this doesn't happen, what if this doesn't happen, question yourself and say, okay, what if I actually take that step? What is the difference it's going to make? What if I actually make that post? What if I actually give myself that thing? What is the difference it's going to make? So I'd say that's the little thing I have to share to anyone that will be listening to this. And yeah, so I do hope this connects with you and helps you to keep moving and keep on growing whatever you do. So I think one of the things I love about OAU as a whole is the fact that it doesn't just rely on the academic particle of life, right? When I came in, I had this mindset of, oh, I just want to be a student and I just want to like do well in academics. But when I came in, I realized that life is beyond academic, especially where the world is going to today. So to the management watching this, I would say this kind of seminars brings the students together. It makes them, I think one of the interesting thing about this seminar today was that we saw the lecturers' parts and it gave us the opportunity to connect with them. So I feel this kind of seminars will help us connect with them, understand their perspective when it comes to academic life, and how we can also build to become that better version of ourselves, even in the academic and life as a whole.
Okay, I learned that for me to be focused, I have to move with people that have that have the same mind with me, and I have to have I don't have to be scared. I have to know that I'm enough, even if circumstances comes and problems comes here and there, or you stuff. Yes. When it's just to impact on what I learned, like put it in my daily activities and all.
Coming here is a great opportunity for me. Although I didn't even have a program to come here, and but what I learned coming here is that one thing is that your association determines your destination. I think it was the professor that said that made that statement. Now, in what sense, people that you work with actually determines where you are going. Even if you don't have the same goal, they will one way or the other influence you, whether positively or negatively. Now, talking about who I am, about the tag of the or the theme of the program. Now, talking about who I am, I discovered one thing about who we are. Most of the time, we tend to be discouraged, or we tend to tell ourselves what we are not as a result of what we are going through. We allow what we are passing through to determine who we are, but that is not real. Now, how can you determine who you are? According to one of the speaker, he says something. He says it's about you telling yourself who you are, not focusing on the present, but focusing on the future. Now, he said one of the speakers says, um, don't don't focus on what you don't want, but focus on what you want. Focus your energy on what you want. And it says that if you are building anything and you are failing, don't focus on that failure. Focus on your goals.
The highlight of the event included the presentation of birthday gift to YTOP Global Regional Coordinator Oluwadamilola Ayo Ajakaye and a panel discussion. Ayobami Abidoye reporting for Amloaded.